All right, a little change of pace today. I'm not doing an interview. I'm having a recurring guest, Jessica Connelly, who has been a pleasure having me talking about all, being on and talking about all different types of psychological point of views, including interpreting my dreams and making me feel like a disaster. But other than that, it is a pleasure once again. So the last one we did was Karen's, which was pretty fun and interesting. Didn't do as well as I thought it was going to do. But today we are doing how social media and dating apps have destroyed dating. Yeah. It's pretty bad. This one is a little bit, this one concerns me a lot of the future of our youth, because it is obvious that that dating has changed. Some might even consider it dead. You know. So before I go on my tirade, because I am going to go in on this shit, I am going in because I am fucking going in. We are talking about the new generation. So we are going to be talking about from 18 to 30, when you're single and you're dating, the generation that's really totally in deep with social media and dating apps. Because when you and I were dating, and the dating app thing was kind of new, people were like still very like skeptical.
Yeah, I think it was like eHarmony was out.
Yeah. It was eHarmony. Yes. What was the other one? There was one that was the big one. It was eHarmony, Christian Mingle. Then there was another one.
Match.com.
Match. That was the big one. Match. And people were like,
why do I know this? I don't know why I know this.
Well, because they probably don't even exist anymore, those. I mean,
no, they do.
Do they really? There's so many Tumblr and Bubble and Bubble and all this bullshit.
Tinder, Grindr.
Yes, yeah. That's it. Because when you and I were single, and this was kind of relatively new, people were still skeptical. People still would rather meet somebody socially.
Right.
But now it has become a complete 180, and the majority of the young generation meet people through social media and dating apps. So do you want to take this one? I think you should go first, because my message at the end is going to be really, really harsh on the new generation. Oh. It's going to be bad.
This is what they have. But all right, let's just say pre-COVID, right? Because this is right. This is what we're dealing with right now. This is our this is our livelihood right now, right?
Yeah, this is
I just feel when it comes to the dating apps, especially in that age group, there's just so many different layers. So emotionally, like, they're so disconnected, right? Like, we, when we were dating, like, all right, let's meet at a bar, let's meet at a party, let's meet at a wedding, at a baby shower, wherever there was a function, or just you seen someone walking in the street. As for me as a woman, a man would court me or say, hey, I think you're attractive, can I have your number? What are you into? And just have these casual conversations. It's not like that. Like, I feel like chivalry is
dead
out the window. We can use Bumble, for example. That's when women get to choose the men and they swipe. So it so happened that you decided to choose this topic today because I was with a couple of girlfriends, and most of us are married, and there was a single one, and she's like, yeah, I'm trying to find a guy. I'm on Bumble. I said, give me this phone. I need to know what this Bumble stuff is. So me and my other girlfriend were both married, and we're like, ugh, ew, what is this? Like, what? But how judgmental is that you're
exactly
just off their picture? They could be the nicest person. I mean, and again, it goes into personality. It goes into energy. To me personally, it has to be about chemistry. You don't have to be a 10, because your brain could be a 1, and
that's right.
Or you lack emotion, and you lack just so many different things that, yeah, you can look good on the outside. You're probably horrendous on the inside. So, so me and my girlfriend and I were just like flipping through, and we're making joke of it. We're making fun. And, it was just the weirdest. It just felt so awkward, and I felt bad for our mutual friend, because I was just like, this is terrible. Like, but you know, you have these guys that, you know, and again, I'm not really trying to throw so many daggers on the guys because, you know, you get hatfished, you get, you know, they don't smile, their teeth are terrible, that, you know, gum disease, whatnot, mommy issues. I mean, there's just so many levels. Then you have the women with the filters, you know, I mean, it becomes, it's just a fake world. It's just fake. But again, fake in the sense that it's not a reality, that, you know, we're going off of what we see instead of really interacting and see if we have chemistry. So, I mean, I've heard a lot of people who met people online and.
Well, I did. I married my wife. I met online. Yeah. But go ahead.
And you're doing well, right? You guys are doing well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, it works for some. It works for some, and it, you know, but I just think there's too many apps when there's too many options. I think there's too much to go for. I do think that we do lose the sense of traditionally dating and opening the door and courting a woman, when now it's like, well, now the woman's in control, and what does she have to pay the bill to? And it's like, then it goes into like, all right, well, what is your dating scenarios? Like, there's just so many different directions to go in. And I just feel like that intimacy of meeting someone and just feeling, you know, all right, yeah, I vibe with you. All right. Or, you know, we get along, or, you know, you actually do have a sense of humor, and it's not just through text that you have dry humor. It's not the same. Yeah.
No,
but I'm also old school. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unfortunately, we're talking about like I said, the age of 18 to 30. So it's the Generation Z and the millennials really that are heavily involved in this process. And I'm not blaming them. I'm not blaming in the generation that they're born in, but they have to take some kind of blame. I know social media is a change the world, but okay. So you were kind.
I was.
You were kind.
You know why? Because I mean, look at you. I mean, there's people who have successful marriages.
But we're talking about. I met my wife almost 12 years ago, and it was dating apps were just starting to be acceptable. Where now it's where you go. Okay, so here is my take on the whole thing, and I'm going to start with the guys because I'm going to go in on the girls, and I don't want to seem like a misogynist. But I'm going to start with the guys. All right. You said before the social courting. Okay. That would be one of the elements of being separated from the bunch. So what I mean by that is, if I was young and when we used to go out and I wanted to approach a girl and speak to her, the fact that I had the courage enough to walk up to her and talk to her and try to be charming and so on and so forth, that alone showed that you had courage and ambition and assertiveness alone. Initiative alone. And you separate yourself from the rest of the guys. Okay. So that alone would be impressive to a woman. I mean, barring that they weren't a bunch of drunken slobs at a club or a bar or anything like that, right? Because we've been there too. You know, I'm talking everything being level. Then you had to be somewhat charming, okay? So, like you said, when you're on dating sites and you're good looking, you get the swipes. You didn't have to be very good looking. You could be very charming, charismatic. You could have a sense of appeal. You could be a gentleman. You could have other things. You could have swag, confidence, things that you can't see through an app. And girls would be attracted to this. I had plenty of friends that were not good looking and did very well with women because they had the gift of gab. They were charismatic. They carried themselves a certain way, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. Today's generation doesn't understand how much courage a guy had to build up in order to approach a girl, okay? It was, especially when you're young, especially high school, college, it was frightening for a guy to walk up to a girl because number one,
you write letters.
I'm sorry. You would write letters. Yeah, it was another one. Yeah, you didn't know if the girl had a boyfriend, and you didn't know, who the boyfriend was, and you risked getting beat up. you know, and the element of rejection alone was frightening because, as a man, you have to kind of get used to being rejected. Whereas when you just start dating in like middle school, high school, college, whatever the case may be, it still hurts. It's still here. Like you get rejected, it hurts, and so on and so forth. And you kind of have to build that, you have to go through that phase and get calloused until it doesn't. By the time I was in my early 20s, no, not early 20s. I would say by the time I was in my mid 20s, being rejected was like common. Like I didn't care. Like by that point, it was like, okay, but it was also different. The only way to meet girls was to go out, go to the clubs, go to the bars, go here, go there. Even the gym, I would approach girls in the gym and talk to them, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't happen anymore. Okay. So when a guy approaches a girl, like I said, that shows assertiveness, that shows initiative. Okay. That also shows your character. So what I mean by that is not only is he assertive and initiative in meeting girls, odds are he's going to be assertive and have initiative in other aspects of life, like his career, right? And his ability to provide and his ability to be faithful and so on and so forth. Okay. No girl wants the guy like that's too scared, so on and so forth. So the social media and the apps, what that takes away is it takes away the courage that you need. You just, and you could send 100 a day if you want. You just, oh, she looks cute. Okay. Message her, message her, message her, message her, message her. And you don't even have to deal with the rejection. They just ignore you.
Right.
Right. You don't have to deal with, I remember this is one funny story. I was at this place in Staten Island and I was in my late 20s or early 30s. I'm not sure. I was still single. I had broken up with a long-time girlfriend. And I walked in and it was, the place had like a little lounge on the side, but you walked into the restaurant part and then you went to the lounge. And every Friday night or whatever, they had a DJ and everybody would go. And they had these candies. And I remember I had a front pocket. I had like, it was summertime. So I had like this shirt with this short sleeve shirt with a pocket, like a polo shirt kind of. So I took some candies and put it in my pocket. So I'm standing by the bar and this very attractive girl comes next to me. She's trying to get a drink. So I turn and I look at her and I go, I pull a candy out and I go, hey, you want a candy? And she didn't even look at me. Like she just kept looking at the bartender trying to get his attention. And I just went, okay, well for me. And I ate. And like, I just didn't, at that point, I didn't care. Like, I remember I used to do this. By the time I got into my mid 20s, it was almost like, I remember I went up to this girl one time. I swear to you, Jessica, I was talking to her. She was the shot girl. She was a shot girl. And I was three sheets to the wind by this point, right? I was wasted. I was my friend, right? I said to her, where I bought shots from her, and she asked me my name. I said, my name is John. And we started talking a little bit, this was like all in seconds, right? And she goes, what do you do for a living? I said, do you watch boxing? And she goes, no. I said, well, then I'm the light heavyweight champion of the world.
Wait, what did she say?
She said, really? And I went, oh, God. I swear to God. She was like, really? And I was like, right. And then another time I saw this girl. I was in Hoboken. And I walked up to this girl and she was just standing there. And I just got real close. Like, let's say this microphone was her. I got real close like this, right? And I'd be like this. And I'd just like turn around and meet eye contact. Oh, hello. And I would,
oh my God, that was you?
Yeah, and I would just be like, yeah. And I went, oh, hello. And then she'd look at me and I was like, do you come here often? But I would do it just like, and it got to the point where I didn't even care if I got rejected or not. Another time I was, oh God, now you're bringing up memories. Another time this girl had this low cut shirt and these huge boobs and she had this cleavage, right? And she was, yeah, absolutely. And I just kept staring at her boobs and she was like, and she was moving. And as she's moving, talking to me, I'm just looking at her boobs like this, just looking. And she goes, this guy won't stop staring at my boobs. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. And it was just like, it was just kind of like, funny. And then again, there were times where I wasn't drinking and I would approach a girl and so on and so forth and, get rejected. But by that point, I didn't care. But I remember there was this, in college, I was like 19 and I met this girl and I kept looking at her and looking at her and looking at her. And I just finally built up the confidence to walk up to her and talk to her, and I remember like that feeling, that feeling you only get when you're young as a man, is to build up that confidence. And then she actually did give me her phone number, and it was like, it's like you felt like King Tut. You know what I mean? That's all gone.
It's gone.
Gone.
Well, you have to remember, they don't want to feel emotions. So even with social media, like there's no, the lack of emotion, even with a text message, like, you rather talk on the phone. Even this is even better,
Absolutely, yeah.
But even talking on the phone versus text messaging, just to kind of hear what the person is, their attitude, their emotions, their feelings behind what they're saying, to see if they're passionate about something, to see it's gone. Why? Because it's just like that wall that's there.
Absolutely. And
I can't understand why. I guess, it goes back into you saying about the confidence thing. They're scared.
They don't have to have any confidence. It is, they don't have to have it. They could send out 100 messages and it doesn't matter. So let's stay on I'm going to continue staying with the guys, because this does the new generation of men bother the shit out of me. Okay. Because this masculinity is gone, okay? And it's gone, in my opinion, for a couple of reasons. The first reason is, 50% of kids are born with single mothers. So who is teaching them the masculinity? That's just not there, right?
I'm glad that you recognize that.
The fathers,
glad that you recognize that.
Fathers are just not there. Whether the father's not there because he walked out, or he is a part-time father because they are divorced, and there's only so much you can teach your kid every other weekend, right? So that part. The other part is this whole toxic masculinity thing that's going around, and socializing the youth to being like submissive and beta and so on and so forth. Okay. Unfortunately, if you want a man to court you and open the door for you and be assertive and plan the date and take you out, that comes with masculinity. That comes with the guy that wants to lead and go, I'll pick you up tonight. We're going to go to this restaurant, get dressed. I made the reservations already, and he comes to your door and he picks you up and so on and so forth.
But as a woman, that's what we want.
Right. We
want that.
So that comes with masculinity. Okay. That comes with the guy that's going to be like, somewhat possessive, somewhat of a leader, a leader, somewhat possessive, and makes demands of that girl, like she can't see anybody else, like she doesn't want her to have guy friends, so on and so forth, right? You take masculinity and you throw it away and you go, men have to be submissive. Then you're going to get the guy that's going to go, I don't know, whatever you want to do.
A doormat.
Yeah. Okay. The other part is obviously the mixed messages men are getting from women, because on one side, like you said, women want men that lead and ask girls out and plan the date. On the other end, they're also getting this message: I don't need a man. I don't need no man. I could do it on my own. I don't need you, so on and so forth. Because the whole idea of a man taking a girl out on a nice dinner or taking her out is to show her, look, I could provide for you. I can give you a nice life. That's why the guy with the more money takes you on the nicer date and so on and so forth and blah, 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 blah. I remember I went out with this girl. It was like maybe a month in, and she wanted to meet my parents. I mean, she wanted me to meet her parents. We went out. I paid for the four of us. And what I was trying to say is, your daughter is in good hands. I'm going to take care of her. That's what I was trying to say. Again, that comes with masculinity. So you have this new generation that is just, emasculated, basically.
I want to answer. I can say this, and I can answer that, because I even say that to my husband too, that I don't need you. I want you.
Yeah. Well, I can see.
But I want you. Yeah. And but the need, I guess the need is that, whatever, I can take care of myself. It's not that I don't want you to feel that pressure, that we can do this together as a team.
No, but you see, the thing is, here's the thing. How the genders think and how they think is completely different. So a woman wants, and the greatest thing that I could do to my wife is desire her. She wants to be wanted.
And make her feel safe.
Right.
Right.
A man wants to be needed.
Right.
Yeah. So when a woman says, I don't need a man, to him, it's an actual blow. And he's going, oh, excuse me, you don't need a man? Then you could pay for the dinner. And that's a portion of where this is coming from, right? Because you got to understand that masculinity wants to take care of you, wants to take care of his kids. He wants to take care. And when a man provides, it makes him feel good. And when a woman shows appreciation that he provides, it makes him feel good. So the idea that you don't need a man, it's confusing because men want to be needed. They don't want to be wanted. You want to be wanted. We're the pursuers. You're the guys. You're the one that's supposed to keep us. We're supposed to come after you. We're supposed to court you.
That's
right?
Understood. But I mean, I say it in a different.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter how the meaning
aspect.
Behind it.
Right? I say it in a different aspect because it's that. You could pick up and you can do it on your own.
No, absolutely, and that's the.
But you also want to feel you as a woman. Like, man, I work hard too, like,
yeah.
So I don't need you in the sense of financial, but I need you maybe for other things.
Right.
But I need you to be a man. I need you to.
But let me translate, if you will, from men to womanese, from men's eyes to womanese. Today's women do have the ability. They have the opportunity, let's say, because let's face it, majority of them don't take the opportunity, but they have the opportunity to have a successful career like you, right? But you still want to feel like a woman. You still want the man to act like a man, right? Now just reverse it.
Yeah.
Men understand that you could do it on your own, but we want to be treated like a man. And that means showing us appreciation and that you need us, because that's what's fulfilling to us. So when a woman says, I don't need you, we're like, and that's where a portion of this, like the mess. So basically, this new generation is basically playing video games and smoking weed and on social media, right? As far as the guys go, as far as the boys go. So, and I think the idea of teaching them how to be masculine and how to be responsible, it's dying out. It's dying out. There aren't men, and a lot of times, the men that are in relationships are, like you said, they're doormats. So they're not going to have those skills or those things to pass down to their son. Okay, that's my rant on men. Now, the girls. This is where it really, a lot of people don't realize how significant social media and dating apps affect women, right? It is so significant that people don't even talk about it. But it is unbelievable. Okay, so you're a girl, you meet a guy, you go on a date, and you're on a dating app, and you're average looking, okay? Which means you're cute, you're average, you're attractive, you're not ugly, you're not gorgeous, but you're average looking. You go on a date, and he's nice, but you go on a date. And then you go back to the car after the date, and you go on your phone, and you have 40 more messages on that dating app from other men.
That's a lot.
And this happens every time a somewhat attractive girl goes on a date, because the amount of messages that they get on dating apps or even DMs on Instagram or messages on Facebook is obscene. And I'm just talking like average looking girls, right? Just talking like average looking girls, because it's instinctual that a man, or in general, anybody, but a man will go, oh, she is a good possibility. If I'm an average dude, I'm not going to go for the most beautiful girl. I'm going to go for the guy what's attainable, right? And this happens this happens in the real world too. In when you go to a bar or a restaurant and you're socially, a guy he won't approach the most beautiful girl. He'll approach what's attainable. So he goes for the average looking girl. So that girl now has tremendous selection, and it becomes the hypergamy instinct from social media is times 1,000 now, right? Instead of like knowing somebody from the neighborhood or people you went to school with or family or somebody introduced you to somebody and, you know, you're with somebody and you don't even get a chance to know somebody because you have such a wide selection, right? So now let's put it into the girls that are on a scale of 1 to 10, the 8s, 9s, and 10s. Now you have these guys that are messaging you, the guys that know that you're attainable because they're in that valuable state. So they're good looking and making a lot of money, which is really only 10% of the men, right? You're talking about like, if you're in your 30s and you are over 6 foot tall, let's not even go crazy, 5'10", 5'11", you're making well over 6 figures, right? You're talking about maybe 10% of the guys. But because of social media, dating apps, Instagram, Facebook, you're not just secluded to your area. You could meet men from across the country. And if I'm making that kind of money and you're hot enough and I want to court you, I could easily buy a plane ticket or come see you or invite you to my nice house and so on and so forth. So inevitably what actually is happening, right? Because about 10 to 20% of men are actually single, right? Are actually having sex with older women. Okay. Average men are getting, like you said, you took your friend's phone, disgusting, gross, bad teeth, so on and so forth. So all those average dudes, their chances have dwindled down to almost nothing. So a guy that like, you know, maybe makes $40,000, $50,000 a year and he's like a regular looking guy, has like a dad bod or whatnot. Like he's now he is even more average. He's invisible. Right? And then inevitably what happens is if this girl does get a boyfriend or a husband, but let's say a boyfriend for now, right? It's usually out of security reasons. So what I mean by that is he becomes a prop. Do you ever see that?
It's a business transaction.
Yeah. Did you ever see that attractive girl? Now I'm not talking about, see, the problem is these beautiful women think that they're going to get that high value guy. But the problem is that high value guy has as much selection as you do. So you're not the only person he's courting, right? And you think, oh, well, I want that guy. But that guy is banging them 2 at a time. And then it goes from that to the average dude, which is invisible, even to the average girl, because even the average girl is getting, like I said, 40 messages a day on her dating apps and so on and so forth, right? So that guy becomes invisible. So then a lot of times what happens is if an attractive girl wants a boyfriend, she will date down, but he is nothing but a prop. So what I mean by that is I have a wedding to go to. I have a boyfriend now to go to a wedding. It's Christmas. I got a Christmas, go to a wedding. And he's really into it, but she doesn't really have to be a girlfriend. She could go out and hang out with her girlfriend. He's at her beck and call but she is able to do whatever she wants. Because that average looking guy that's not going to take that shit, she's not going to deal with him.
I mean, and you have a point. You have a point.
And this is what's becoming of the 18 to 30-year-old, what do you call it? Generation of the dating, single dating. There's a show. There's a. I'll send it to you actually one time. There's a podcast called Fresh and Fit, right? And what all these guys do is they bring in a bunch of girls and they just ask them questions. And they go around the table and they ask them questions. And they're all young girls, and the majority of them are very attractive. Like I said, they're usually between 18 and 30, maybe 32 tops, right? And they say, what do you look for in a man? And they go, I swear to God, I'm not kidding. He's got to be 6 foot tall. He's got to make at least 6 figures. Some girls go $500,000. One girl said $500,000. Like, you need to make at least $500,000 a year, right? And then it came out that she was messing around with now she was very sexy, right? But it came out that she was messing around with this rapper and that rapper. But there's a difference between like you being passed around and a guy that's going to marry you. There's a fucking big difference. And they kind of, anyway, 6 foot tall, got to be in shape, good looking, has to make all this money, so on and so forth. And their standards are way up here. And then they go, okay, what do you bring to the table? And the answers are mind-blowing. The answers are, I'm faithful. Well, no shit. You're in a relationship. You're supposed to be. That goes without saying. I don't understand how that's. One girl said time. One girl said my time. Not one of them said, be a good wife, be a good mother, be a,
well, those are roles, but they were describing themselves.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So basically what I'm surmising is that social media is completely in destroying dating.
Did you see the other dating show that they're wearing like masks, like different animal masks?
No, what the hell is that? Do you know what the name of the show is?
Dating, and they can't take their masks off, and that's how they have to go on a date. It's like a blind date.
That's fucking retarded. Because anybody who knows anything about a man, a man's first motive is always physical attraction. It doesn't mean you have to be the most beautiful woman in the world, but you have to be attracted to that guy. See, a guy will look at like yourself and go dark hair, dark skin. Another girl look at another girl, go blonde hair, light skin. Look at another girl, go big boobs, or the other one big butt. But they're all attractive to him. Mm-hmm. So he only the very elite men could be that selective, right? So they're all attracted to him. There have been times like I've been so fucking like when I was single, so drunk, and I'm like, she could be breathing. Like I don't care at this point. Like I haven't had sex in months. She has a heartbeat. Jesus Christ.
She has a heartbeat. And
I was like, there have been times where I'm like, oh my God, like especially when I was single, and it was like, now, that's one benefit about being married. You could just go get in the bedroom.
You're absolutely not.
That's what happened Saturday night, actually. I was like, she was sitting next to me on the couch. I gave her one kiss. I went, okay, go upstairs and take your clothes off.
I'm gonna pray for your wife.
No, she loves it. She loves when I order her around and stuff like that. Anyway.
But like even that, let's just say, for example, that's a lot of these websites. I like these apps like Grindr and Tinder. I think Grindr is for gay people, and Tinder is just straight up like hookup. And Grindr is also for gays to hook up.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about like, oh, you're in the area? Okay.
Yeah.
We had AIM. It was like age, sex, location, right?
Oh
like,
my God.
That's like the most that like, and like, where would you really find their like AIM screen name? Like,
Yeah, it's, I totally forgot about that. Yeah. And
we were there somewhat.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. At the beginning we were. Yeah. At the beginning there were chat rooms.
Yes.
Yeah, there were chat rooms.
Wait, there was a Mahente page.
Oh my God, yes. There was a couple of. I made
a Mahente page because I was like, oh my God, it's so cool to have one.
There was a really popular singles page for black girls. Oh my God, I can't remember. My friend Mark always dated black girls, and he was on that page, and I can't remember the name of it.
It's gonna drive you nuts.
Yeah, it really is. And there was like you said, there was like Christian singles. Like, I remember there was Jewish singles, and then there was all the different chat rooms. Remember in AOL, it would be like,
oh my God, those are like the best.
Yeah, and then you would go into the chat room.
But you didn't even know how these people looked. You had
no, you didn't. Yeah, I remember I talked to a girl for a week and she would not send me a picture. And I'm like, all right. Or you get the picture where it's like the bird's eye view.
Yes.
Because they don't want us. They just want to see this part. They don't want to see the rest. And then she looks like Jabba the Hutt.
And then now we are on oh my goodness. I just
sorry.
Miga Luca. So now you have Catfish. Like what's the show on MTV, Catfish?
Yeah.
And like the most scandalous stuff that like they're meeting people online. Like
Yeah. It's unbelievable. It really is. But the problem is that look, when I was young and going out, there were always that group of very attractive girls that never had to pay to get into the club. They always had they were always going to be with VIP, and they were always with the guys that had the money and had the nice cars and so on and so forth and blah, blah, blah. And ever since I started the YouTube channel, I have social media again, and Facebook, you kind of reconnect with some old people, and there were a lot of girls that I remember that were part of that group. And a lot of them, well, I think most of them are either still single or divorced now, right? Because like I said, those guys had the choices, right? But now with social media, it's that times 10. It's that times 1,000, right?
And they would think the grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah, it's that times 1,000. So the girls that were back then, and now they are the girls that are divorced or still single, and now they have the Botox and the fake lips because they're trying to still look good and compete with the 20-year-old. It's like, no, it's over. It's done. You know what I mean? No, it's over. And they still feel like they deserve the cream of the crop because their whole life, men have been high value men have been courting them. You know what I mean?
I mean, I definitely, I resonate with that because, we all want to kind of keep our youth a little bit,
Of course.
I haven't done any work, but, I definitely don't judge them. I'm like, oh, okay, you want to do it? You look good.
No, 100%. It's more of the like attitude, but it's you could kind of look and see, like, if a girl, gets pregnant and she wants to have a tummy tuck because she has that stomach or whatever, that's, okay, fine. But when it becomes to the point where it's extreme,
right?
You could kind of tell, oh, okay, I could see what you're doing here. You know what I mean? It's, so now take that still single or divorced with kids, and now fast forward another 10 years or 15 years, that number is going to quadruple in society because of, and I truly believe this, because of social media. Because social media has given the opportunity to be hypergamous times 1,000 to attractive girls. It's going to be even worse. I was actually going to say something else. I lost my train of thought. I forget. And guys the majority of average guys are going to be basically in this rut, and they're going to.
Well, you have social media, right? Let's just talk about, your most popular, Instagram and Facebook. Yeah. And I mean, obviously there's Snapchat, TikTok, and all the whatever. There's always going to be
a million of them. Yeah, right.
So let's just talk about the old people, Facebook, Instagram. People really post their highlights of their life. They don't post, I mean, unless you get like someone that's just, they post everything. They post all these things. So then you also have grown men. Oh, look at my car. Oh, still popping bottles.
Yes.
All my money.
Yeah. And that's
it goes back to the fake, like I said to you, life when they're probably living on their mom's couch.
So then those guys wind up in one of two categories. They're, like you said, they're either full of shit, which will come out sooner or later. Will come out sooner than later, rather. Right. And then there's the guys that really have that kind of money, and those are the guys. Yeah, well, A lot of the, yeah, okay. Some of the usually the older guys, but what I mean is the people that brag, the guys that brag, they're in one of two categories. They're the guys that are full of shit, or the guys that really do have that kind of money. And the guys that really do have that kind of money, these guys have they have the pick of the litter. You know what I mean? I mean, think about did you ever go to Miami?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay, yeah, I went once. I was a
I went twice. I went in 2010 when it was you can walk on Ocean Drive. It was very classy. It was you can go by the Versace house. It was wonderful. It was a good time.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and it was actually that's when I went when it was Art Deco their first year before they moved to Wynwood, and then I went about what I want to call it 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm using Miami as an example, but there's plenty of places like this. But Miami is the most popular places. Women love to go to Miami because for what?
BBLs.
What's BBLs? Yes.
What's BBLs? The Brazilian butt lifts?
Oh no, I'm not talking about that.
Oh.
Women love to go to Miami because there's so many like famous people and rich people that live there, and then they have yachts and so on and so forth, and they're intrigued with this lifestyle. For men, it's Las Vegas. Every guy, think about it. Today's bachelor parties, the men go to Las Vegas, the girls go to Miami. That's, anyway. But think about, you're on the water in Miami and there's this yacht or a big beautiful boat or whatever, which is a yacht though. And you have, 3 girls or 4 girls on there in their bikinis and so on and so forth. Right? I mean, only one guy owns that yacht.
He never gets posted.
What'd you say?
He never gets posted.
Yeah, that's right. That's another thing. Yeah, exactly. Right. The girls are taking pictures of themselves, right? And not him, not him, but he, but that's the kind of guy that is going to get those very, very sexy and shallow women.
But then it goes to that side that the women are half naked on social media.
Yeah, and it's all about attention. A lot of times too. With social media is that a lot of times women that post themselves on social media or dating apps, especially if they're attractive, it's more about attention than anything else. Because if you're that attractive, you can't tell me you can't find a man socially. You can't tell me there's not one person that says to you, I have a single friend. Right? It's impossible. If you're that attractive, then there's no reason for you to be on social media or not social media, dating apps. Unless you're looking for attention.
Or it should be damaged, trust issues.
Right, yeah, sure.
I mean, you could dig deep and just like, like I said about the guys earlier, mom issues.
But, I'm telling you, fast forward 10 years, 15 years, and you're going to see there's going to be more single mothers. There are going to be more. Guys that are single and never had, a chance with women. The average Joe, so on and so forth.
So, what would you do to change that? Where would you start?
I think. Okay, where would I start? Okay, I'm not gonna. All right, so on the men's side. Men's
side, because you're saying there's going to be so many single women.
Yeah.
With single mothers.
Yeah, they're definitely.
It's really like I'm not blaming the women, or blaming the men, but they're the component, right?
So let's start with the men. How do I fix that? Okay. Mm-hmm. There's more information for men now on social media. There's plenty of YouTube channels, podcasts that guys that grew up with and are assertive or are ambitious, and they actually have a very, very, very successful podcasts and YouTube channels showing young men how to be a responsible young man. That's definitely a good thing, because if you have a guy, and if you don't have a man in your life, or your man in your life is not a good role model. And when I say not a good role model, I'm not talking about the guy that's the gangster or the guy that goes to jail. I'm talking about the softy. I'm talking about the submissive man that can't get out of his own way. Okay. And I've seen plenty of dads like that. And I'm like, dear God, how could you not think that your wife isn't cheating on you? Wow. Right. So if you, and there's a lot of young men that have no masculine man to look up to, whether he is not there or whether the father is very submissive.
Right.
So there are outlets for them to go and learn, except that it's difficult as you get older, because instinctually, if you are a submissive person, it's very difficult to get out of that. It's not easy. You know, it's not easy for you to just turn a switch and become ambitious and assertive and so on and so forth. So grown men have to be able to mentor young men. Okay. And it is happening somewhat. Like I said, there's social media, YouTube, podcasts that actually do. And there's a lot of them. And a lot of them are very successful. Now, on the flip side, when it comes to the women, that's a little bit more difficult. Okay. Because generally speaking, women don't want to hear that they're shitty moms, even though they're shitty moms. All right. And
I have to agree with you.
Yeah. And they do not want to hear that they have to change. I mean, being a therapist yourself, I'm sure, you know, it's very difficult to get through to some of these people. So, and we've gone to this point where we kind of like coddle single moms, and we go, you're strong, you could do it yourself, and so on and so forth, and blah, blah, blah. Also it's gotten to the point where we coddle the girls that want the attention. So like, you know, because one of the problems with girls that go on, beautiful women that go online and want the attention, is the guys that pay them attention. Right? OnlyFans is exactly that. Okay. OnlyFans is exactly that. If guys wouldn't pay to see a girl in a bra or naked, they wouldn't be doing it. And for the life of me, I don't understand why you need to pay for it when porn is free. I don't fucking get it, for the life of me. Right? I don't get it. But there are women making a ton of money on OnlyFans. And
makes me question what I went to school for.
Yeah. Well, it's because you have character, Jessica. I hate to tell you this, but it's because you have character and you are a well-balanced human being that you wouldn't do something dignity? Like that. What'd you say?
I said I have dignity.
Yeah, exactly. That you wouldn't do something like that, right? And then it comes into question, well, you know, I can do what I want with my body, and, you know, so on and so forth. And some girls even to go as far as it's art. But do you know what OnlyFans is? Yeah, I'll tell you exactly what OnlyFans is. You know what OnlyFans is? OnlyFans is the bartender at the strip club. You're not the stripper, but you're that fucking close.
Literally.
So you're not doing porn, but you're this fucking close.
But I heard it's like different things that they do on there, though.
Yeah, it's different. But, you know.
But overall, there's nudes and.
Yeah. But think about it. Let's say you're a 21-year-old girl, and you're a beautiful girl. You're in the height of your beauty because you're 21 years old, and you get an OnlyFans and you charge $10 a month. And all you're doing is putting up sexy swimsuits, right? That's all you're doing is putting up sexy swimsuits. And you can charge $10 a month. Well, if I take my clothes off, I could charge $20 a month. Well, if I do these things with this toy, I could charge $25 a month. Okay. And then it just spirals. It's just a slippery slope. You know.
Now, going back to the guys, you had mentioned, you know, the mediocre and the average guys.
Yeah.
You know, what about the guys that are just so overly confident?
They don't have a worry in the world. You mean the guys that I'm talking about, where it's like the guys that have the money and are good looking and the top 10%?
No, I'm talking about the ones who are really that cocky and that confident that have commitment issues. Also make dating very difficult because they just lead everyone on. They lead the women on, or, yeah, I want to be with you, and then have five others in the pocket.
Here's the thing. Mm-hmm. The average guy doesn't have 5 others in the pocket. He's full of shit. See, guys lie up, women lie down, right? Guys lie. Guys lie and they go, yeah, I banged her. Yeah, are you kidding? I banged so many girls. Girls are the ones that go, no, I've only been with 2 people, my boyfriends. Yeah, okay, yeah, I know, yeah, whatever. The only 2 times you had, yeah, right? So the guy that is overly cocky but he has nothing to show for it is full of shit all around completely. So he doesn't have, he might tell you he has so many girls, but those guys have been around, and those guys you could figure that guy out in no time. Right. Seriously. Like, I've had plenty of friends where I was like, we talked about this in the lying one, right? We talked about my friend at work that said he slept with the whole bridal party. Remember? You know? And everybody looked at him like he was full of shit. I'm like, you're so full of shit, right? The guy that does that, the guy that has that swag for no reason, that guy blows me away. The guy that lives with his mother and has the swag for no reason, you know what I mean? That guy baffles me. I'm like, where did you get this confidence from? You're a goddamn idiot. You don't have 2 quarters to rub together. You have no education. You don't have a good job. Some of them don't even have jobs. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you think you walk on water, but that it's fake. And then inevitably they usually wind up with a woman that is as chaotic as he is.
Well, that's the opposite state, the energy connects.
Right,
so then
exactly.
you have like toxic with toxic.
Right, exactly.
If you don't work and heal and do the work on yourself, that's what you kind of attract. And they always usually say you marry your parents.
Yeah. Thanks. Cheryl told me I married my father.
I definitely married my father.
Well, I definitely didn't marry my mother, thank God. But the guys who sincerely do have their pick and do have a rotation of women, that's a very, very small percentage of men that have a rotation of women. The guys don't have, the majority of guys, the large majority of guys, I'm going 90%, don't have that kind of ability to be that selective with women, or an ability to have that many women. I mean, as much as they would love to, right? I mean, all right. There was a comedian, Bill Burr, and he basically said that Chris Rock said you're as faithful as your options, but Bill Burr basically said that a guy is faithful by default. So what I mean by that is the guy who is the average guy who makes $50,000 a year, and he drives the Camry, and he has a kind of a dad bod, and he's not very good looking in his average job. If and when somebody like that gets married, he is going to be very faithful because he doesn't have the option not to be, right? But you work your way all the way up to the ladder, and was it really that surprising when Tiger Woods was cheating? Was it really that surprising? I mean, that guy has literally a busloads of models waiting for him at the 18th hole, like literally, right? Like, I'm like, okay. So anytime I see a celebrity that cheated, I'm like, and like, that fucking surprised? I mean, it's unbelievable. So, and then you have everything like, in between, right? And then you have everything in between. But like I said, I'm telling you, the average dudes, they're full of shit. Full of shit. I work with plenty of them. Oh, God, they're full of shit. And they love to exaggerate how hot the girl is. They love to do that. I said, this is funny. I work with this guy. He's really a nice guy, and he actually watches this all the time. And and he actually commented on how attractive you are. But anyway.
Oh, I guess that was a lie, right? Thanks.
No, that wasn't a lie. No. Let me explain. Let me explain.
Backpedal.
Yeah, let me explain. He did compliment on how attractive you are, which is obviously very true. So I'm not going to bullshit you. But he was hanging out with this girl, and he's my supervisor. Okay, so he makes a good living, but he's average looking, very average looking. Okay, so on and so forth. Okay, so I hung out with this girl. She's a 10. I was like, and
in his eyes, she was a 10.
But here's the thing. But exactly. Okay, exactly. And then I had to explain to him. Let's call him Joe. That's not his real name, but let's call him Joe. I was like, Joe, see, in the average man world, there are no 10s. Okay? In the average man world, the real 1 to 10 scale is 3 to 8. That's the average, right? We don't, because we're average guys, we don't see 9s and 10s. And on the rare occasion that we do see 9s and 10s, that 9 or 10 stops traffic. Okay, that 9 or 10 is like, I remember the first time I saw like a 9 or a 10, I was like, it was like, I couldn't, like, I was like inside, I was telling myself, stop staring, but I couldn't, you know? And anyway, it's really 3 to 8. Our average guy's 8 is really a 10.
Okay.
Right? And then, you know, we don't see 9s and 10s. So obviously, now on the flip side, unfortunately, there's really, all 1s are really 3s, okay? Because 1s and 2s, you have to leave a category open for, like, you know, the hunchbacks and the terminally ill and the burn victims and, you know, the, you know, missing limbs and stuff like that.
Oh my goodness.
You know, the cripples. You have to kind of leave that. They need a category, and there's no negative numbers. So you.
My goodness.
So it's really 3 to 8, and I had to explain this to him, and he showed me a picture of him. Joe showed me a picture. I was like, "Yeah, dude, she's attractive. Don't get me wrong, but she's not a 10." It's like we don't even see 10s. And I actually had to call over other reasonable guys and be like, "Can you explain to Joe what I mean?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, we don't see 10s at all. We don't." You think you're gonna see a 10 at a bar in Bloomfield, New Jersey? Yeah, exactly. You think you're gonna see a 10 in, like, you know, Ozone Park, Queens? You're not seeing a 10. It's not happening. But you go to Beverly Hills, you go to Miami, right?
And they're all fake.
And yeah, and then they're all, you know, it's like, and you're you know, Ben Affleck, or you're the CEO of some major company, and you're surrounded by them when you go out, you know, because you're not going to the dive bar. You go into this.
Then it goes even deeper than that. So, like, it's still very surface. It's still very fake because they're after for the money, and it's all looks. So it's all like surface, and it's like, are you a good person? Like, you know, how's your heart? Like, you know.
Well, exactly. That's why.
You like a dog get hit by a car, like, you just gonna leave them there? No, like things like that.
Yeah, that's why when you
cry,
see.
Do you cry through those videos of, like, the dogs limping? Like,
yeah, with the pen sticking out of his head. You know, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. You cry. I don't cry, but I do. I'm a dog person, so I can't watch that shit. Yeah. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. This recently happened. Basketball player got divorced from his wife, and this wife was very attractive, but he's very young. So the young successful person gets sucked into that type of female that wants you for the money and will marry you because he thinks he's in love, right? The older guy knows better, right? The older guy that's in his 40s or 50s, and now he's making $500,000 a year. He knows better, so he's just smashing and dashing, right? And either, you know, he's right. So that's why you see a lot of, like, the young celebrities are the targets. You know, Mike Tyson or Robin Givens was a great example, right? All right, what was he, 20, 21 years old, you know, and here's Robin Givens, like, just throws himself out. And that's why you see a lot of these young athletes get taken by these beautiful women, because those are those kind of girls where if you are
Kardashians.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How many? Yeah. Let me tell you something. Her time is up.
Which one?
Kim. I don't know the others. I don't know how many more valuable men do you think are going to, like, fall to you at this point? I mean, you know, she's got to be in her 40s now, and she looks good for 40s, but, you know, her track record speaks for her, right?
38, 39, 40.
Yeah. She's been married 3 times now. Your track record speaks for you. She's gonna end up like Pam Anderson. Do you know where Pam Anderson is now? Exactly.
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, the way that her mother is promoting her, I don't know.
No. What I mean by that is you know, as far as being with a significant other and so on and so forth, right? It's gonna be like, you know, and that's the fascination that a lot of young, attractive girls have. Like, oh, they're more into the attention and the lifestyle and so on and so forth, and that social media puts a light on. Anyway, I don't even know what the hell I was saying anymore. I was on a tirade.
You definitely were. You were really in your feelings today.
Yeah. I knew this one. I was going to pull any punches. I knew it. I even told you, what was it, a month ago when we scheduled this? And I was like, oh, this one's going to be bad.
You prepared me.
There was a guy in the gym with Crocs on. I was like, dude, put sneakers on. You're going to kill yourself. He's like, no, but these are real. He's like, no. Not only should men not wear them, you certainly shouldn't wear them to the gym. I was like, you're going to kill yourself. How do you work out in Crocs? I'm like, I don't know. And this is what women have to choose from now.
No, thank you. You own a pair, we're done.
Yeah, exactly.
My
because
husband owned a pair. I think I broke them.
Yeah. No, I don't. And that's because they don't have. Listen, my brother, when my nephew was 13 or 14, didn't just buy him a suit. He took him to the mall and he taught him how to buy a suit.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And that's what masculine men do. How to buy a suit. This is your suit size. This is your jacket size. This is your pant size. This is,
not small, medium, large.
No, it's not. This is a double-breasted. This is a single-breasted. This is single-breasted with a vest. He told him how to do a hanky. He told him all the different types, and not all the different types, but like 2 or 3 different knots that my father taught us, so on and so forth. But those men are few and far between now. Just like those women that are,
they don't know how to cook.
Cook. That's not even. Not even cook. Stay loyal, for fuck's sake.
Well, because they always have those guys in their DMs.
That's right. That's exactly right. It's exactly right.
The grass is always greener on the other side. So
yeah, no, tell me about it.
Or at least what they portray it to be.
And it really isn't. And then you get to a girl who's 35, 40, 45, has 2 kids, no man around, and she goes, I can't find a good man. These men are shit. And it's like, well, you've been banging around for years. What do you think is going to happen now? Now, I mean, if I was a single guy and I met a girl who was 35, 40, 45 with 2 kids, and, all you have to do is peel back the layers a little bit. You don't have to do that much homework, especially as you get older. She could tell you everything she wants, right? What you do is pull back the layers a little bit, especially as an older man. Like, you might have got me at 21, but at 45, I'm just going, oh, really? Yeah. Is that what happened? I'm hitting and quitting. That's it. I'm hitting and quitting. If I could even tolerate your nonsense. I might not even bother.
You have to babysit.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God. That's another big red flag. When they never have a problem finding a sitter. When they never have a problem, if they have kids and they never have a problem going out, that's a huge red flag. It's like, well, who's watching their kids? The Grim Reaper could be watching. They don't give a shit. Or they're home alone. Anyway.
In the street.
All right. Do you have anything else to add? Because I'm done.
I'm glad that you got it all out. I feel very pent up for a very long time, and I needed to get it out there. I do agree with you that the dating scene, but again, we are also old school.
It is. I'm so glad that I'm married. It's unbelievable.
And a lot of people say that, but they rather work it out. There's a lot of people going through marriage troubles and whatnot, and they rather work it out than be out in the dating scene. Yeah, I have single friends who talk about the dating scene and just the horror stories and, how many free meals that they can get. And, it's insane.
Yeah, it really is. It's very, very, it's sad is what it is. It's sad. It's sad. And I'm telling you, you're going to see the, so I'll bet that there are more, I bet that this is the first generation where there are more virgin men than virgin women. I'll put that out there. I would bet.
I want to research that.
Yeah, I would totally bet that is the case with this generation.
Poor guys.
Yeah, I know, really. Poor girls too. Yeah.
That's a whole nother topic.
Okay. I don't have the energy for that one today.
No.
No, definitely not. Jessica, thank you. I really appreciate
Always.
you doing this, and it's always a pleasure. You're just a pleasure to talk to and do this with. You really are.
Well, I try to be as honest as possible.
Yes.
Unbiased.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole idea. You got to try to be unbiased, because I try to be unbiased too. So I try to go in on the guys as much as I do the girls, but sometimes it's difficult to be unbiased, you know. But then you got to kind of pull it out, put it on the shelf, and go, okay, let's look at it, you know, reasonably.
In different perspectives.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Very well.
And we will find out what we're gonna do next. Cause I always come up with something.
You do.
Yeah.